look like. And if your like plan was I just want to practice the exam, you can this will work with that. So the basic the requirement is I'm thinking if you spend 15 minutes 4 times, that's good. That's good. So if you invest 15 minutes 4 times throughout break, you're good. If you do more than that, you do even better. So, which means I don't want you just to spend an hour at any one time because you want to keep chunking and repeating. But so if you look at these directions, it says it's made to review the material in small chunks throughout the break. Always work on what you need the most help, not on the least. Okay. And this is meant to be simple but helpful, right? Because I don't want you up at 3 o'clock in the morning working on this. Okay. So
Yeah, that's how we.
well, I mean, no, that's they're not going to help you. So it's just basic, like the standards based gradings. I want this to be simple but helpful. So that's why this is very simple. Okay. So if you let me explain. So it says 4 unique entries. If you could do 7 or more, that's even better. But that means you're doing like, but I'll explain. So there's various things here that you can do multiple versions of. So one is just terms and names practice. Take any of the 5 terms, write a sentence for them or whatever. If you're using the book and you see the terms, be like, great, I'm doing this right now. Type in 5 terms you're going over, boom, and you're done. That's one entry. Okay. The second one is just to keep watching the news, right? Watch any 10 minutes and write a 5-minute reflection. Easy enough. People are like, well, is the news questioned on the exam? Yes and no. It's something that you might be able to bring into an FRQ. Some news things will be brought into multiple choice questions, but by now the news is the question exam is written, so they're not going to have something on the Chauvin verdict, right? But it's just good practice to keep in mind. Okay, a third option. Here you go. Use one of the test prep books and prepare for 15 minutes. So just that. You said I'm doing the AP Barron's. Put the day you're reading it, the time you read it, write a quick blurb and how it helped. I really practiced my FRQs. I practiced the Unit 3 concepts. And I'm just going to trust that you did it when you write this down. Yes. Yes, I'll explain that as well. Yeah. So let's see. Another option, court case video help. For those of you that just like looking at the AP videos, whether it's a Lamoni production or whatever, watch a video. I'm watching a video. I'm watching another one on New York Times versus US. I'm watching US v. Lopez and Marbury Madison, whatever. Same thing on a required document. I'm going to watch another video on letter from Birmingham jail. Or I always confuse Federalist 10 with Federalist whatever number and then whatever number. Go ahead and you can do that. Notes practice. Read any one page of the notes you've been taking for 10 minutes and then record a 1-minute video of just saying what you remember without looking at the notes. That recitation really, really, really is powerful. Okay, so you can do that. And then you have 2 5-point bonus options. Okay, you can make a TikTok style video on any of the terms. Have fun, post the videos below. You can do up to 2, so that means you could actually get up to 110 points. All right, now suppose you're like, I just really want to look at the book, and that's all I want to do. So look at this. 4 unique entries means you want to pick any 4. So if you're doing the book, that's 1, and then you want to do 3 others, but you can make that work. So you can do the terms and names from the book. So like, suppose you're like, okay, I'm looking through the book and there's terms and names. So that's 1. Then there's the actual one that says from the book, right? Now, suppose you're like, I'm reading in the book about a court case. This one says video. scratch out court case. I'm doing court case book help. You know what I'm saying? So like if you want to modify this because you're like, I'm just going to work on AP Barons, you can do that. But also, if you want to do more than 4 to sort of max out, you can look, it says you can repeat a version. So you could do 4 segments on AP Baron and then 3 other segments on something else. Does that make sense? Make sense? Yeah. So, because I want this to be what works for you, what helps you study the best. I just want to make it simple and manageable. And like, I want it to be 15-minute chunks. Now, suppose you're like, I'm going to spend 2 hours one day and then 15 minutes here and there, whatever. But I'm going to check, like, say, every 2 or 3 days just to see, have you done anything? So that I just don't want it all done in one night the night before, because that defeats the purpose of how you best remember things. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, like, you don't want it all done at once. How do I know? I really don't know, but I can check when you're uploading this. Right? But so in other words, I'm saying if you invest an hour tonight, but then you spread out when you put the stuff up, you know what I mean? But just, this is meant to help you. This is not meant for me to play gotcha, like, oh, you did it all at once. It's meant for you to do well with the exam, and learning it in small repeated chunks works the best. If you invest more time in it, that's great. That's great. I just don't want to expect you all to invest hours in it when you may actually have things to do.
What if we did it over 2 days? Because I like pick 2 days of the week that I want to work on AP.
If you already had a plan of how you want to work on it, that's totally fine. Yeah.
So say if like one day I read the Barron's book, let's just say
the whole book in one
I read
day.
it for like 5 hours.
5 hours in one day.
I set up like 3 days just for AP Gov.
Okay.
And like, would I like use that as multiple book entries?
You could, sure.
For each day. So like,
yes.
Like an hour for each one.
Sure. Okay.
Would those count as unique entries? Or would those count?
Yeah. Like, keep in mind, like I said, this is not me trying to be gotcha. Like, this was, you just read the book for 5 hours. That wasn't good enough because you had to change it up, right? This is just for me to help make it more manageable for people that can't sit there with the book for hours. Sometimes switching it up with videos is helpful. Sometimes switching it up with, making don't underestimate the power of that one with the notes. There's so many studies on how that will help things in your brain. So, but you could also change that up. Say, I'm going to read the AP Barons for 10 million hours, and now in a minute video, this is what I remember from it. So you feel free to modify it as you need to.
Are we going to go back and watch the videos from?
Because that's the ones that was the election one, sure, right? Yeah, we're going to see some of them. It's not going to be the same way with notes, because we sort of did that intermittently, but we are going to go back through some of them, yeah.
So we are going to go back to them.
Yes, yeah. We're going to start reviewing and going over, or sort of like blending things the next few weeks. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to shut this video off. If you guys have questions, my A-Day students, comments on the Google Classroom below this video. Like and subscribe. All right, say bye, everyone. Yay. No, we got some rivalry here.